Giant hammers, spinning blades, flamethrowers, whatever it takes to annihilate the opposing robot. That is the chaos of BattleBots, and today we're turning that destruction into a game. In case you live under a rock, BattleBots, or Robot Wars for my fellow Europeans, are TV shows where teams compete by building robots, equipping them with weapons and armor, and entering them in cage matches against each other. I had a little search online to see if there were any games that let you build and battle robots, and for the most part, the answer is no. There were a handful of officially licensed BattleBots and Robot Wars games that came out in the early 2000s. However, their bot building mechanics are very rudimentary, limiting you to pick from a few pre-made chassis, and then select wheels and weapons with little to no say of where they are attached. I want to have the freedom to create whatever kind of robot comes into my head. Like the building system from Tears of the Kingdom, which players use to create all sorts of wonderful inventions. So I did a little more digging, this time through Steam, and I came across Robot Arena 3, which has mostly negative reviews, so I'm going to go ahead and assume it's not good. I couldn't find any other games dedicated to arena bot battling, but I did find a few sandbox games that had building systems that let you make and control pretty much anything you want. Which means you technically can build and fight robots in these games, but watching videos of people doing that online, you can tell the games aren't specifically designed for it. The collisions don't have the same impact they do on the show, and when a bot is destroyed, it does the thing when you die in LEGO Star Wars where bits of you go flying everywhere. There's also no damage build up on the bots, no scratches on the paint, no tears in the metal from heavy axe blows, no black scorches from flamethrowers, and lastly, there's no matchmaking, which means to bot battle, you'll have to find people online willing to set up a server or just invite your friends. I found that Main Assembly has a game mode specifically for bot creation and battling, but when I tried to play it, not only was no one hosting a bot battling server, no one was hosting any servers at all. I thought it was a glitch on my end, but it turns out the game just had 3 concurrent players at the time, which included me, so I couldn't play online. And since I don't have any friends, I could only play the bot battling game mode by myself. No, I'm joking, I have friends. They just go to a different school. You wouldn't know them. These points I've brought up against the sandbox games, by the way, aren't meant to be digs. They are amazing games in their own right that let you build and control anything you can think of. It's just the bot building and battling aspect of them that, in my opinion, hasn't quite reached its full potential, leaving a gap in the market. Introducing Scrap Metal, my dream bot building and battling game that I'm going to develop with flexible and unrestrictive bot building mechanics, fun physics-based gameplay with detailed destruction and damage systems, a variety of game modes such as 1v1, 2v2, free-for-all, tournament, and a gauntlet mode where you start off with limited money and enter fights to earn more money to upgrade your bot. Before I show you the progress I've made on the game so far, if this sounds like a game you're interested in, go down there and give that subscribe button a kiss so you can stay up to date with devlogs and update videos. Also, if you're interested in game dev or programming, I think you'll find today's sponsor helpful. Brilliant is an online learning platform that helps you get smarter every day with thousands of interactive lessons in programming, AI, data analysis, math, and science. If you've tried to learn programming before, you'll know it can be confusing and frustrating. Brilliant's interactive lessons are proven to be 6 times more effective than watching lecture videos, so it might just be the kickstart you need. Whether you're a beginner or more experienced, Brilliant has problems and content to engage you with, crafted by an award-winning team of teachers, researchers, professionals from Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Microsoft, Google, and more. And Brilliant has an app, which is my favourite part, so you can learn on the go, get daily encouragement, and get those dopamine hits when you get a question right. I've found that the courses on programming and maths are the best for learning skills applicable to game dev, which is what I'm sure you guys are interested in. Building problem-solving skills, learning to think like a programmer, coding in Python are all areas of knowledge where Brilliant offers learning. And the interactive learning is going to help you retain that information, instead of it going in one ear and out the other. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/Barry's Development Hell, or scan the QR code on screen, or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off if you get an annual premium membership. Thanks Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. I am using my preferred game engine Godot, and the first thing to work on was of course the bot building mechanic. The goal is to make it simple and intuitive so that beginners can pick it up and build quickly, but also to let more advanced players go in depth to customize and fine-tune their bots. I want the player to be able to create any shape, chassis, or frame they want, so I had the idea to use a grid of 1x1x1 units and let the player place frame pieces, which are these white blocks for now, that snap to this grid. I made this half-transparent block that shows where a block would be placed, and if you left-click, a block is placed there. Now the first block has to be placed on the ground, but I want to be able to build off of other blocks and to be able to right-click on placed blocks to destroy them. So I implemented that, and now you can see it's looking really, oh my god, I've just created Minecraft! Later, I want to add variants of these frame blocks, like half slabs and slopes, and of course I want to change their models to be more this sort of a thing, like a frame. But what I I have is perfect for now. What I want to work on next is attachments, which will be things like wheels, weapons, shields, batteries, tanks of gas, etc. By the end of this devlog, my goal is to have a bot building mechanic in place that can create bots capable of actually driving around. So I'm going to start with the wheels attachment. But there's one problem. Implementing wheels on vehicles is a task only the devil dares attempt sober. And I'm talking from experience here. For my game development module in college, we had to follow a Udemy course to make a kart game, and it couldn't even get vehicles right.
Oh! Oh!
Then again, last Christmas I tried to make a new racing game, and it didn't go much better. For God's sake. An easy first step to making a vehicle is to create a wheel and apply forces through code to make it roll. But the hard part is attaching that wheel to a vehicle. I made a box mesh for the vehicle and duplicated the wheel until I had 4 of them, and then I aligned them to the mesh. My first idea to attach the wheels to the vehicle was to use hinge joints. My second idea was to apply force to the vehicle instead of the wheels. That way I could make the wheels a child of the vehicle so that they would move when the vehicle moved. Unfortunately, the idea worked just as well as my last one, and I realized I needed a different approach. I got rid of the wheels, and I decided to reinvent the wheel. The specific thing that everyone tells you not to do. My new approach uses raycasts. Raycasts are like invisible lasers that shoot out from a certain point, in a certain direction, for a certain distance. So I made a raycast for each wheel, and I placed them at the corners of the box mesh where the wheels would be, and I had them shoot down towards the ground for a short distance. I then used a little code to simulate suspension. If a raycast touches the ground, I apply upwards force to the box mesh at the point where the raycast starts from. Doing this essentially creates a hoverboard, but if we add wheel meshes where the raycasts are, it looks like a vehicle. The wheels don't spin normally with this setup, but we can fake that by rotating them depending on the speed of the vehicle. I've seen others creating vehicles using this raycast system, like Danny, when he created that banana controlled car game, and I can see why. It is so much easier to work with. Next thing to implement is actually being able to attach these wheels in the bot building mechanic. I added 2 buttons so you can swap between placing wheels and placing blocks, and then if you have the wheel button selected, you can now place wheels off of blocks, similar to how you can place blocks off of blocks, and the wheel is rotated correctly depending on what face it's attaching to. I also had to recalculate the vehicle's collision shape through code every time a new block is placed, which is important for the raycast wheels to work. And the last thing I had to do was apply force to the vehicle if the player presses a certain button. Now you can make your own bot and take it for a drive. There she goes, her maiden voyage. It would bring a tear to a glass eye. Oh. This is a great step towards player freedom and creativity, since you can now build any shape chassis you want, but there is still much to do. I need to add those building block varieties and models, more attachments like weapons, batteries, motherboard, etc. I need to add damage systems, multiplayer, game modes, matchmaking, and more. So if you're interested in following along with the development of Scrap Metal, hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and let me know in the comments below what you would like to see from a game like this. If you have the means, please also consider supporting me through Patreon or through Ko-fi to help fund the development. And lastly, I have a Discord server, so if you're a fellow game dev or just interested in games, feel free to join to share progress pics, ask for code help, or just chat with others. Links for all that in the description. Thanks everyone for watching. See you on the next one.